warning from the FBI and state police about all those drones spotted in New Jersey. They're urging the public, do not shine laser pointers at them after several incidents of plane and helicopter pilots getting hit with.
Hey everyone, this is Amir. Welcome to the Dejargonizer. Mysterious drones have been spotted over the UK and the US. These incidents made headlines, but they're just the tip of a much larger iceberg that military and defense experts have been watching with growing concern. That is the rise of drone warfare. In Ukraine, Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, the story is the same. The asymmetry is staggering. A $500 drone can take out a $5 million tank by dropping a grenade on it. There seems to be nothing drones can't do. They're deadly and incredibly difficult to detect. They're changing the way wars are fought, much like gunpowder and guns did when they were first introduced in the battlefields of China over 1,000 years ago. Now, China dominates with drones, but almost anyone can make or buy cheap drones, fly them almost anywhere, and use them for almost anything. The threat they pose is growing. From the battlefields of the Middle East to Ukraine to the skies over New Jersey, drones seem to be popping up everywhere. The main challenge is, how do you detect something that's designed to evade detection? That's what we'll dive into in this episode with Iftach Richter. He's the co-founder of R2 Wireless, an Israeli startup that's found a pretty ingenious way of detecting any wireless emitting device, any device that sends out a signal, including drones.
My name is Iftach Richter. I am the founder of R2 Wireless. We provide the ability to detect, classify, and geolocate any kinds of emitting device. Today it's a drone, tomorrow it can be a robot on the ground, and later on it can be a new satellite that just appeared.
What do you mean by an emitting device?
So emitting device is sending information somewhere, a Wi-Fi device, Bluetooth, satellite communication, tactical radio, and many more. A drone is only one example. Your smartphone, it's always transferring data somewhere. So once you transmit, we can catch you. You can be invisible if you're transmitting.
Can you describe an emission? Is it a sound? Is it just a frequency? Is it invisible?
Emission is electromagnetic wave. That's the radiation that comes through your cell phone, through your other wireless device. Radiation is the way that electromagnetic wave propagates in the space. So electromagnetic wave has a power, and the power is decreasing as it propagates farther. The longer you travel, the power is decreasing. Like the sound wave, if I'm shouting from my place, after 100 meters, nobody will hear what I'm saying.
Okay, let's just rewind for a second. Can you take us into how drones actually work?
So a basic drone works between a remote controller and itself. The remote controller sends information called telemetry, go right, turn left, up, down, etc. While the drone itself sends the video back to the remote controller. Easy to use and very affordable. With that, it can be tracked. It can be tracked because there is some serial number of the drone. There is the GPS data it sends all the time. Once you turn it on in an area next to an airport or some prohibited area, it blocks you from flying.
I have a drone that I fly with my son, and we managed to fly it a few times, but at one point it thought it was at Beirut airport, and we're here in central Israel. And we lost control of it, and it flew into a tree in a building, and we almost lost it. And since then, we haven't flown the drone, and no one in Israel is flying their drones. Can you just explain just briefly what's happening there? Like, how does that work? Why is that happening?
Two main methods is used by Israel and other militaries worldwide is GPS jamming and GPS spoofing. Jamming GPS, it's quite easy. Means to block it, to transmit some noisy signal very loudly on a specific frequency or various frequency, whatever you wish. And then you can make it harder for the enemy to operate it in this area specifically.
Okay, what about GPS spoofing? How did our drone think it was in Beirut?
What is GPS spoofing? It means I spoof, I send some false information. There are satellites in the sky. You need to receive at least 3 satellites to get your position. Someone sends around you a false information about where you are. That's why you're in Israel and you think you're in Beirut airport. That's what happened.
You've done work with NATO, with the Israel Defense Forces, with the German Bundeswehr. What can you tell us about why drones are so hard to detect with the current detection tools?
A current method to detecting or mitigating drone, they're quite legacy and they are not relevant to the existing threats. They are based on technology that was relevant a decade ago. Camera, radar, and passive RF. That's the dominant tools today.
Passive RF means passive radio frequency?
Yeah, RF is radio frequency. Traditional passive RF is built on protocol deciphering. I need to know the protocol in advance. I need to understand where the packet of the important information, like the GPS data, the serial number.
What's a protocol?
What is wireless protocol?
Yeah, a protocol.
Wi-Fi, for example. A Wi-Fi is a family of protocol, 802.11, and then you have version A, B, C. Each one is defined by some standard that says, first, you have data like where it comes from, where it needs to arrive to, and how much information you have in the message. You can decode what I'm telling you right now because you know the protocol. This is English. We are speaking between ourselves. So we can decipher what I'm saying.
We, from our own experience here, we get a lot of drones that fly undetected, hit buildings, army bases. NATO, Israel, the Germans, everyone are trying to detect drones through radar, cameras. But you're saying the signals drones are sending can be jammed and spoofed. That's evolving all the time. If we look now at what's different about R2 and the way it's going about helping militaries detect drones, it's not looking at radar, it's not looking at cameras or acoustics. It's trying to find the emission, whatever a device is emitting.
Militaries don't understand the basic of wireless. I try to be polite about it. Modern enemies take frequencies and change them into new frequencies that have never been seen before. This makes drones so difficult to detect. It's a hacker war. We are taking a different approach. We are detecting wireless devices based on signal processing and AI. We achieve the ability to detect almost any kind of emitter. We don't care about what exactly was transmitted, but more about if it was transmitted and from where. We don't care about the content of the message. We just care about the existence of the message.
Whether it's on the front line, out in the forests and woods of Ukraine, or in an urban area, Gaza, Lebanon, here in Israel, Kiev, wherever it is, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of devices emitting, right? How do you zoom all that out? How do you filter all that out to kind of know what you're looking for?
Imagine that you are going somewhere, a cocktail party, many people around, there is lots of noise, background noise, there is interference next to you, that the people around you are trying to speak as well. You're going in and you want to talk with someone. There are many people around. That's the other emitting device. There is the background. You want to talk with your counterpart. So you look at him, you are talking to him, and you are trying to estimate what he is saying under the constraint of very loud background noise.
It's not just music, right? It's the clink of glass, it's other people talking, doors opening and closing, there's phones going off. It's a cocktail party, right? There's a lot of distraction, a lot of noise.
Yeah. And your task is to try to understand what the guy in front of you said. And for that, you train yourself. Over the years, you have AI algorithm in your head to combine the source from your eyes, from your ears, to estimate what the lips are saying. And you are trying to estimate the sound that you received. The signal to interference plus noise ratio is very low. So that's the magic of signal processing and estimation theory.
Why do you say that the signal to noise and interference ratio is low? What does that mean? What would it look like if it was high?
If it was high, it means that the signal power, the desired signal power, is very high. In that way, it's not a problem. You can hear very well what he's saying. You don't need to use your eyes to estimate the lip of your counterpart.
Okay, let's stay at the cocktail party. Our analogy for the modern battlefield. All the sound, all the clicking glasses, the talking, music, cars outside, people coming in and out through the door, phones going off. I'm speaking to someone or I'm listening to someone. And then I just hear some really interesting conversation. Words that have kind of alerted me, and I'm trying to hear what they're saying. How does that work from a drone detection perspective?
You need to improve the signal to noise plus interfering ratio. Your task is to estimate what he is saying.
I'm looking at this person. I can't hear everything they're saying, so I'm estimating what they're saying. Is that how it works?
Yeah. You are trying to. You heard some noise. You heard a voice, and you are trying to estimate what the hell he tried to tell me. That's actually your task. Try to formulate it mathematically. And what we are trying to do all the time is we are trying to say, based on the electromagnetic wave, is someone transmitted here? If so, what was transmitted? Is it something I know, I'm familiar with, or not? I need to listen all the time, in every frequency, everything the meeting around you.
From a historical perspective, we know that the introduction of horses in battle thousands of years ago was a game changer. Fast forward to gunpowder and guns, where you had cavalry on horses charging at the enemy, who then had guns and could shoot them from a distance, and that ended the cavalry. After that, you had tanks, airplanes, submarines, aircraft carriers, big bulky platforms. Now we're talking small drones causing major havoc. How big a turning point is the introduction of drones into war?
It changed the war significantly. Today, you don't need to send soldiers to the battlefield. It's completely changed the battlefield.
What is war going to look like if soldiers don't have to be sent to the battlefield? And I want to challenge you on that, because we're seeing a lot of battles around the world, a lot of soldiers in the battlefield. You're seeing soldiers getting attacked by drones.
So myself, I was in the infantry in my military service. We got used to a way that we need to fight face to face with the enemy. Face to face is literally, sometimes just a few meters. I was wounded, just in 2-meter distance. Today, you can be just after the front line and send drone few kilometers ahead and make reconnaissance with the drone and then to attack as well. It's becoming more relevant for every company at the battlefield to use the drone as a fighting tool, because it is much more affordable and the technology is more mature. So what was before only for the most sophisticated soldiers and special units, today is for every soldier.
So do you think we're going to see wars and battles with fewer troops and fewer human casualties? Or is war going to get even, if that's even possible, even more bloody?
It will be much more bloody, unfortunately. You don't have to send your troops to kill the enemy. Today in Ukraine, you can see that they're attacking the pilot themselves, like the nerds. They don't try to attack the commando unit specifically, but the pilot of the drone. That's the main target. In Ukrainian war, one pilot killed 500 soldiers only by drone. He killed more than 500 soldiers. He never used his rifle, but his rifle is the drone. He used as many drones as possible to kill and destroy tanks. I don't know how many soldiers killed more than 500 soldiers before.
Crazy. Okay, let's look into the future. The Ukrainians, the Chinese, the Russians are mass producing cheap autonomous drones that through programming and software can fly together, attack together. They can be controlled as groups. Elon Musk, when he tweeted out a video of a couple of thousands of these Chinese drones, said, why are we investing in big, expensive platforms and warplanes like the F-35, which cost billions? Looking ahead, Iftach, the way that you're looking at the next 5 to 10 years, is the era of warplanes like the F-35 and F-22s and big battleships and aircraft carriers. Is that over? And are we heading towards mass-produced, cheap, autonomous systems? Or do you think there's still a place for the kind of warplanes and big platforms that militaries have been using since, I guess, World War II?
You can't change the army in one day or even in multiple years. So they're still reliant on big and heavy and centralized system, but this dependency is decreasing and will significantly decrease over the coming years. There is a change, there is a shift in the world. Of course, they will continue to buy F-35, but instead of having like 10 squadrons, maybe they use only 5. And instead of that, they will have dozens of unmanned squadrons.
I guess we're at the beginning or the end of the beginning of this new kind of inflection point where, like previously, the introduction of gunpowder changed the battlefield entirely. Now we're at this point where cheap, autonomous drones are changing the battlefield completely. Why is this important? What is going to change apart from the battlefield? Like, why is this really a big deal?
I will try to give you some example from everyday life that will be soon. We know the delivery drone, right? That will deliver the package to our home. Just think about it. We've never thought about them as an enemy. Today, if there is a pizza delivery, you don't give access to any pizza guy to enter your home, right? You don't know who he is. Now think about delivery drone. Amazon wants to send you some package using a drone. And there is some criminal or terrorist that want to take advantage of this ability to enter your home. So they try to spoof them or even send some fake drone that enter your home and make troubles. It can be relevant to everyone.
Interesting. So you're saying that, and we're seeing this, Amazon,
Walmart, DHL,
UPS,
yeah.
Are within the next couple of years, drone deliveries, everything from pizzas to just stuff that you order online. There's medical deliveries. You're saying that this matters because even those drones can be jammed, spoofed, taken over. Is that correct?
Yeah. And they can use the drone to harm the innocent civilian at home.
Wow, that's scary.
And to give you another example, now imagine that you are in your autonomous car, you're driving somewhere, your autonomous car needs to receive messages and information from somewhere, right? And if someone spoofs the GPS of the car, it's cyber, okay? But it's RF cyber because it's the electromagnetic cyber attack.
Okay. Any last thoughts about these mysterious drones? Months after this is been in the news everywhere and people are talking about it. They're still mysterious and we still don't know what they are and who they are. I mean, people have theories. So do you have any theories about who's sending these drones? Is it the US government? Is it a foreign government?
I guess that it might be foreign government that try to challenge the detection system of the US to test the detection system. There are a few countries that have the ambition to do such things.
I love ending on scary stuff. Iftach, thank you very much. It's been great having you on.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Dejargonizer. For more episodes and ways to connect with me, please visit dejargonizerpod.com. That's dejargonizerpod.com.